Hello and welcome to the show. Now, it's common for car companies to release similar cars to their competitors and then try outsell them. Like, say, you got two companies with two very similar saloons that are four-wheel drive, turbocharged, and all this and that, and similar price. Basically, to see who can outsell the other person. And I thought it would be good today on Petrol Heads to get two famous rivalries and try see which of the two cars was better around the test track that we have. So first up, here we have a lovely Mitsubishi Evo 10. It has 305 brake horsepower, 315 foot-pounds of torque, and it weighs 3,329 pounds. Definitely, it's a big saloon. And, well, we need a competitor. Now, if you are any petrol head, you will know this car. This is the Subaru WRX STI Impreza thing. You know, the names are complicated. It's a Subaru WRX. This also has 305 horsepower and weighs 3,329 pounds, like the Mitsubishi. But it has more torque. 335 foot-pounds compared to the Mitsubishi's 315. So they weigh the same, 3,395 pounds, same horsepower, but the Subaru has a little more torque. So I want to see how they were on a track. So it's time for a track battle. Mitsubishi versus Subaru. It's time for all your questions to be answered. Which is faster? So let's cut to the track. Mitsubishi's up first, and here we go. Right, and the Mitsubishi is off. The all-wheel drive helping that power get to the ground. Definitely, this should be quite good around this track. Nice and stiff suspension, but still a little bit rolly to give it a bit more forgiveness. I definitely would have preferred it to be a little stiffer, but it's okay. Coming along here, it definitely it looks slow, but it was actually quite fast around the lap, and a little bit of a sway here from our professional driver, and well done, cameraman. You know where the zoom out function is. Congratulations, you're hired. Seriously, the cameramen, they need to learn about zooming in, not just going zoom out so quickly. Yep, I can see the car in the distance. Right, coming along here, a nice little speedy section. Now, this corner, if your tyres are good enough, you can take it flat out and then hit the brakes. But I think the Mitsubishi was just a little bit too understeery there, so I had to hit the brakes there. But still, the understeer, you can get over it, and if you took enough laps in the car, you could probably get a really quick lap out of it with no understeer and no oversteer. Now, blind man's corner. The problem with this corner is, well, it's a blind corner, because the second you crest that hill, the corner's there, so you really got to see if if you have really good brakes, then you can hit the brakes at the top of the corner, or the hill. But most street cars, you need to hit the brakes before, and trying to predict that's actually not as easy as you think. Coming down here, ooh, smashing hard on the brakes, creating a lot of tyre smoke. Now, I don't have enough time to actually lap this car over and over to get a really good lap time, but I think I did pretty well. I mean, the racing driver, yes, right. This is understeer central. This is really a corner to test where the understeer of a car is or how bad it is. And the Mitsubishi was affected. And, well, along the straight and across the line. Now, time for the Subaru. How will it do? Now, when it comes to between the two cars, it's really hard to pick between which car I prefer, because Mitsubishi and Subaru, I love both of them. It's like trying to pick between a red apple and a green apple. They're so close, it's all about opinion. I will say, I slightly prefer Mitsubishi. I slightly prefer the Evo as that. But if yeah, I prefer the Evo, but I still love the Subaru. The Subaru is amazing. It's a great car. Now, it is a hatch, so I definitely was wondering how it would do. It was a bit twitchy, and I definitely, unlike the Mitsubishi's slight understeer problem in some areas, and the Mitsubishi, you would understeer and bam, it would just like something, it would, well actually no, I was trying to slide the car at some points into the corner to bring the back end out a little bit to help get around, and then the front wheels would just grab, and this was practice laps, and throw me into the wall. Ooh, coming up to Blind Man's Corner, how did the Subaru do? The Subaru did very well, I will say. It did the corners quite well. Now, as I was going back to the Mitsubishi, the understeer, you can practice yourself out there and get a quicker lap. The problem was with the Subaru, the twitchiness, it was hard to deal with. It was hard to, well, work with. But you could work with it, but it's not as easy to get a problem to get over as the Mitsubishi's understeer. Now, coming in to Understeer Central, will it be affected? Well, the short answer is yes, it will be. Equally as bad as the Subaru. So, along the straight and across the line for the Subaru. Lovely. Now, I have the times here. The Subaru did a 144.8 and the Mitsubishi a 144.5. It was so close. 0.3 of a second. Around this short track, that is so close. Now, I thought I'd move on to the next / final rivalry of the day. Now, as you know, I'm a fan of Fast and Furious, and I thought, should we have a go with the Toyota Supra and maybe verse that up against something? Well, I have a Toyota Supra right here, so I thought, should we verse up against the Charger? You know, like the classic drag battle like they did in Fast and Furious 1. The Charger is a DLC car, so that already threw the option out. But I do have a Supra here, and well, I don't want to waste it. So I decided to verse it up against another famous Fast and Furious car. But first, let me tell you a bit about the Supra. Supra has 320 horsepower and 315 foot-pounds of torque thanks to its lovely 2JZ V6 engine. It weighs 3,329 pounds, and all that power is going to the rear wheels, which may not be a lot of help for it. Now, enter competitor. Yes, this is the Nissan GT-R Skyline R34. The Nissan has 327 horsepower, 293 foot-pounds of torque, and it weighs 3,439 pounds, but it has all-wheel drive, which could be very crucial in winning this rivalry. Now, I love both cars as well. It's like the Subaru and the Mitsubishi, but I like the R34 a little bit more. The R34 is amazing. But I will say my money was on the R34 winning, because that two-wheel drive, the Supra's great, but the two-wheel drive is going to really not help in some of the corners. But, well, there's only one way to find out, so let's get to the track. On to the track battle. Supra's up first, off the line, already burning those tyres, and through the slow corners, different in the practice laps, it struggled a bit, because in the slow corners you need all-wheel drive, and to feed the power on, especially with a rear-wheel drive car. That's why rear-wheel drive cars, especially ones with big power, like muscle cars for a good example, struggle greatly with that corner. Come along to a very quick section here. Cameraman using his awesome zoom function there. And, ooh, that swiftness of the car, zooming along there. Ooh, hard on the brakes. Coming along there. Ooh, almost touching the outside curb there. Going along there. Ooh, hitting the grass a little bit, kicking out the rear end. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, and oops, it's happened again. Yep, this car definitely was quite tail happy, especially in the practice laps. Oh gosh, that was so tail happy there. Now, coming up to Blind Man's Corner. How will the Supra do? Well, we're about to find out. It did pretty well, actually, and I thought it was going to oversteer all over the place, but no, it held its ground very well. Coming up to the follow-through. Lovely entrance, but I can't say the same about the exit, that's for sure. Now, coming up to the Understeer Central. Not doing well. Ooh, exiting that corner, a little bit of a twitch. Right, Understeer Central. It's a two-wheel drive car, and it actually holds its ground very well, so it actually is barely affected by the understeer, which is great, because it hugs the inside corner the whole way. Little oversteer moment at the end, we'll just ignore that, we'll edit that out, okay? We have the power of editing. No, we don't. Anyway. Right, R34's up next. And the slow corners, ooh, this thing was good. Especially at the start, it was great. Off the line, just that power kicks in and it's off. It just goes. Right, coming up to the just this whole section of track. This is the straight. You just keep your foot down and just see how long you can hold it. It's really the point for this section of the track. Got some nice, lovely camber shots for a speed section. Oh, locking up the brakes again for that corner. Ooh. Right, coming along here. What was that? Here, whatever. Back to the track. Oh, lovely. The rear's coming out a little bit over there. Coming in there. Ooh, a little bit of understeer because you can see the wheels turning. The car's still moving forwards. That's what understeer is, kids. Right, coming along there. Pretty smooth except for the exit. Hitting the grass a little bit and the back end's coming out a bit. Right, next, Blind Man's Corner. Handled it very, very well. Right, follow through. How's it going to do? It's going to do well. The Supra in this did very well with that corner. Right, foot down the hill, and coming down the hill, hard on the brakes. May have not been following the racing line fully, but it's fine. Right, up to Understeer Central. Now, the i34 did better than the rally cars, the rally cars, but the street versions, the Evo and the Subaru. But it didn't do as well as the Supra. It kind of stuck to the middle of the road, while the Supra was just on the inside line the whole time. And across the line. Now, I have the times here. The Toyota Supra did a 142.8. Pretty good. It was actually faster than the rally cars. The GTR did a 141.2. That shows you how good the GTR is. It is a great car. The Supra is great. I respect it, but it's such a great car. And that shows you really the final results. Against the rally cars, the Evo was quicker, and against the Supra and GTR, the GTR was quicker. With me driving, I'm not a very good driver. Shh. No, actually, we won't worry about that. But I guess that's it for this episode, guys. This has been a great episode, and we have a definitive answer. If you guys have enjoyed this episode, hit that like button down below. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.